The Son of Man did not come to be served, but to serve and give life to, as a ransom for many. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Over a year ago, as you know, I took the pilgrimage, the walk, the El Camino de Santiago de Compostela. Camino, we call it the El Camino, the way. And I think Mon Sheen did the film with his son, The Way, as well. If you watched that movie, okay. Who has already did your pilgrimage over there? How many? Take a walk. 1, 2, 3, 4. I see. This is very important for us. For the first 1,000 years of Christianity, there are 4 centers of pilgrimage. The first one is, of course, Jerusalem. Second one is Rome, and third one is in Cologne, in Germany, where you have the basilica or the shrine of the 3 wise men. Suppose the relics over there in Cologne. And then the fourth one is the Santiago Compostela. What does mean? It is, the word Saint James comes from the word Jacobus. Jacob and James are the same. Okay, and in Spain, in Spanish, Santiago or San Diego. So San Diego, Santiago, Jacob or James, all the same. Okay, the same. Now you know. So 4 great centers of pilgrimage are Jerusalem, Rome, and then Cologne, and then you have Santiago Compostela. Now, why do we celebrate St. James today? And especially for the Spaniard today, a very great day. And you look at the gospel today, you see Jesus was challenged. The mother, the sons of the sons of thunders. Jesus named or coined it or give the names to these 2 brothers, James and John. You are the sons of thunder. If you hear that, and Jesus is describing not the sons, but the mother of these 2. So if James and John are the sons of thunder, who is thunder? The mother, isn't it? No, the mother is thunder. She came in and she watched it and said, okay, put my son on your right hand, left hand, okay, and when you become king. Now, the whole thing, and since we read the gospel in an intelligent way, called Catholic way, we have to read it, the deeper meaning. Read intelligent means you read behind or between the line. Inter legere. Legere means to read, inter in between. Intelligence basically means you read in between. So you look at it and you see they came, the mother of James and John came to Jesus and asked to have a place to sit, isn't it? Give them a seat, right and left. When you look at our God is different from other kind of gods. When you go to Rome, you see many gods. They worship like many gods. Or you go to the east, southeast, or south of Asia, you see many gods. And like you go to see a Buddhist temple, you see Buddha just sit there and meditate. Really, God normally sit and rule people. But you look at our God, He never sits. He was hanging on the cross. And He rules from that place. He always seems to be standing in line, walking around, serving. It's not a throne, but the cross. This is our God. We look at Him up there. And the mother of James and John, Thunder herself, came and asked for 2 seats. Get a ticket, 2 seats. But Jesus says something else. It is very strange that Jesus, normally he's a great teacher. He never answers directly. He answers with a question so people can think. He's a challenge. This is the Catholic way. And he asked the question, can you drink the chalice, the cup I will be drinking, and receive the baptism that I will be baptized? If you look at the word baptizing, or to baptize means cleansing or take a shower. Okay, you cleanse from the outside. When you drink, what do you drink? Normally you drink to wash inside. Isn't you read between the lines, you see that what Jesus is saying, you have to cleanse yourself from inside, and you take medicine, wash yourself down inside, and wash yourself outside. Can you do that? Can you do that with me? And they said yes. It challenges them to think, but they did not understand what they were asking, saying. Until they saw Jesus, really, he went through that baptism, and he drank that bitter cup of the passion. And he was there, still hanging there. That's our God. Our God is not a meditative God. And I used to do this when I was in my 20s. I followed in college and universities in Canada. I used to follow transcendental meditation and all those kind of martial art meditation. And we call it navel gazing. You know what navel gazing is? We look at our navel for hours and hours, and became so, and we don't feel anything anymore. We do that. And every day after school, after college, and I just go to the Red River in Winnipeg, Manitoba. I sit next to the river bank, and I look at the river just flowing by, or the eyes, Canada, you have the eyes flowing by, just like the Buddha. I do that. But that is not our God. Our God's always out there and serving, looking for the poor, looking for the sick, looking for the needy. He's looking, and for the one who is about to die. He's there. He's there. To be present and serve. That is our God. And he's there with the dead, isn't it? The criminal on the cross. He was there. And so any experience and any suffering, he's there for the people. He's not there just to say, okay, meditate. Contemplate about, the illusion of life or reality. No. He's there to be with us, to be for us, and to die with us, to suffer with us. That is our God. Until James and John saw Jesus. John was the one, you look at the stained glass window in our church, you see James and John in that two. Over here, this is an incarnation. Over there, you see, what is that? Isn't that the resurrection or transfiguration of Jesus Christ? James and John, Peter was there, right? The two men on the right and left hand of Jesus. Who were they? Moses and Elijah, wasn't it? If that is a transfiguration. And under, Peter and James and John were under the mountain. You go to the mountaintop, you see that. They look, really, right there, the two icon, stained glass icon, you look at Jesus in the middle. There's somebody built this church with an intention, very, 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 profound intention. See Jesus right there in the middle, the crucifixion of Jesus. You see there. Now, John saw Jesus crucified on the cross. We do not know where James is, but we know that later on, the year 42, as the legend tells us, and the Spaniard and our church still believe this, that he went to Spain, year 42. And Spain was a kind of according to St. Paul, when he wrote his letter, epistle to the Romans in 58 in Corinthian, he wrote to the Romans, the church, okay, and he asked for some financial support to go to this, land of the, barbarians or the savage, to do evangelization. He called it Spain. Paul wrote to the Romans saying, Rome is civilization, Spain was for the barbarians of, those savages. And he said, from Corinthian, he wrote to the Romans, and, help me to go over there and, evangelize them. And then he was captured, and he went there by ways of, he was in exile. They brought him there as a criminal to Rome, okay? So Spain was, at that time, was not a kind of a civilized place. James went there according to the tradition in year 42, and he evangelized there. Okay, and then if you go to Santiago Compostela, and the story is this, that afterward he went back to Jerusalem, and he was martyred in the year 44. He was the first apostle martyred for the faith among the apostles, not Stephen. Stephen is a deacon, but the very first among the 12 apostles is James the Great. Okay, Now afterward, his disciples would, since he was a fisherman, they put him on the boat, a small boat, and suddenly, and then, in honor of him, and suddenly this boat disappeared. Okay, and then somehow it appeared in the coast of Spain. The fishermen saw this, like they call it the ghost boat, because it looks really white, everything just covered by shells, seashells. And they was wondering, was this like a ghost boat? And then they brought it in. They saw a lot of seashells around it, and they opened it. They saw, this is the corpse, the body of Saint James the Great. So there you have Saint James, and they built a shrine for him. And then after, when the Mohammedans we have relationship with Islam since the 7th century. So 7th century, Muhammad created this whole Islamic religion. Within 100 years, he conquered southern, Portugal and Spain and southern France. Mohammedans conquered, and Spain used to belong to Islam. And then, so the King Alfonso II, he prayed to Saint James, who is the patron of Spain. He prayed that if you could help us, get rid of these Mohammedans, and we'll build you another, great shrine. They destroyed the shrine, the first shrine. So somehow you go to that shrine, you see Saint James riding on a horse. The Jews never ride a horse, but Saint James riding on a horse with spear and sword, and kick out all those Mohammedans out of Spain. That is a story. So you go there, you see it. And very interesting. And then somehow, the body of Saint James rose from the dead, get on the horse, and then kick out all those. And so they built a shrine for him. Okay. But the problem was that they could not find where his body was. They couldn't find it. But some farmers, one night they saw this a lot of stars gathering around one particular place, and they came there and they dig it up. They saw the body of Saint James, and that's where we have Santiago de Compostela. Compostela, campus is the farm, and stella means the stars. Okay, the land of stars, the farm of the star. Okay, the starry or the few of the stars. That's why we have Compostela. Or it could mean like the cemetery, could be that as well. So you have Saint James there. If you want to know more, we should once in our lifetime go there and see. Rome, Jerusalem, Santiago Compostela, or Cologne. We should go at least the 4 great shrines or pilgrimage centers there. Now, what is the whole point? The whole point of this, Jesus is great not because he showed or he make his authority felt for his subjects, but the whole point is about service. I have said this before. It is not about how many degrees you have or how many people are under you, but how many people we have served today. That is a question for us. And Jesus asked James and John to do this, and all the apostles, all the disciples of Jesus Christ. How many people I can serve, have I served today? For us, we labor really hard, and when we rest because we are tired of we are exhausted out of serving others. And this is our God, the God who serves us all. Let us pray.